Alright folks, this is going to be a video about how we can install OBS Studio and DroidCam plugin for our OBS systems. As you can see it over here, that I'm on this edge and we have this OBS system and the DroidCam OBS over here, and the plugin is in here with DroidCam OBS for Linux system. So to do so, what am I gonna follow today is this document where I have laid out what we are supposed to do line by line to install OBS Studio. At the same time, I'll be following this droidcam.app/linux info system, so that I'm following all the instruction that has been laid out over here as well. Without a further ado, first things first that we're supposed to do is check out our OBS version, assuming the fact that we do have our OBS Studio installed in our computer. So whenever you type which OBS, in this case, although in my case it says OBS not found, but if you do have an OBS, then in your case the output might be something like this /user/binary/OBS, which is the location for traditional OBS, which most of us end up with having in our computer when we try to install OBS Studio from its main website. But in our case, what we need is an OBS Studio with Flatpak install. What is Flatpak install? It's basically the OBS Studio from Flatpak, which Flatpak manager, which allows us to have DroidCam plugin. So to do so, how can we start installing Flatpak versions of OBS? What we have to do is just follow this instructions. So first things first, what we're supposed to do is sudo package manager -s flatpak, which is similar to having just give me a moment. So in my case, since I already have Flatpak in my computer, I'm not going to install it because it's just going to take a bunch of time, and yeah, that's why I'm just going to skip this. You're supposed to proceed with installation, but I'm just going to skip this step and press no. Also, make sure that you should not be swayed by the fact that my interface is looking different than yours, because I have customized my interface with Simple Terminal, which is a suckless organization terminal, which helps us to customize terminal in a nutshell. After this, what we are supposed to do is, again, I will follow this instruction. In case if you're using different Linux distro, say Ubuntu or Linux Mint, Void Linux, based on Debian, Fedora, or Arch Linux, you're supposed to type different command, as if package manager is more of Arch based package managing tool. At the same time, apt-get, I'm not so sure about this, but application manager is more Debian based, and we do have Fedora based as well, which is similar to which is DNF. I don't know what DNF stands for, but yeah, this is another thing that you're supposed to know. After this, after installation of Flatpak and following this GNU Linux information guide alongside with my document, in case if you can install, in case if the Flatpak has been installed but you're missing your repo, which is what we're going to check in step 1.3. Although I will install this Flatpak, and after package manager of Flatpak over here, if I copy this command and try to paste it over here, this command will direct me into this particular directory of Flatpak. And at the same time, there's this another directory that I have mentioned over here, which is change directory to local. This is basically the repo version, which is when we're installing a GitHub file in our computer when we are installing managers. There's this application which is supposed to run, and at the same time there is this document or files which it's supposed to customize and manage everything and all. In most of the cases, pacman-s flatpak will install both of these, but in case if it does not, you're supposed to remote add. If not exist, then this repo from flathub.org /repo/flathub.flatpak repo, and we do have the main repo, and in case we don't have the another repo which contains all the files, then I'm just gonna what we are supposed to do is just copy this information and paste it over here and run it. This will allow us to have all the information and document in our computer. Although if you have all those documents at the first place, then it's just gonna update those files. And to make sure that it was installed correctly, I'm just gonna copy and paste, and as you can see that I was able to change directory to this particular repo, which means I do have everything for manager to run this flatpak install flathub.com.obs studio command after this. I hope it's visible now. And I'll just configure it. Oops. Alright. I hope it's visible and this is readable as well at the same time. But then the next step would be, as we can follow in this document, if we are successful, just move to next step, else reinstall everything, which means basically if you run into any form of error, then just redo everything, and we'll be good to move to next step, which is flatpak install flathub.com/obs studio. Oops, I think I didn't copy it correctly, so I'm just gonna copy it again. Yep, there you go. And in my case, since I have already installed .com.obs studio project.studio, so it's just going to pop up the message that it is already installed in my computer. As you can see it over here, this is the command that I have copied in it and in my document as well. At the same time, we also have to install this other plugin, which is in our case the DroidCam plugin, because this is how we are gonna use our phone or devices as a webcam. So again, in this case, I have already satisfied this requirement, so it's just gonna pop up that we're skipping this step because we already have installed this plugin in our computer. So I hope you guys are following to this point. Now what we're gonna do is install the DroidCam app on our phone for the webcam, because we're gonna use the phone anyways to project. So this is basically the Droid Linux webcam, DroidCam Linux, something like that. Yep. So we have DroidCam webcam and OBS camera, and DroidCam X Classic for Android and iOS. Depending on what device you're using, you just download one of the app variant and you'll be good to go. Okay, I hope these steps has been followed properly. All those other tabs are like basically extensions. I was just reading about what to do and what are the things that I'm supposed to include in this video. Now, after installing and after doing everything, we have a couple of troubleshooting steps which I'm gonna run in a while. First, I will just show you what does the OBS Studio looks like when you have everything installed and up and running. So this is what you're gonna get. I'm just gonna turn off my camera for a while and show you step by step what you're supposed to do. So now I have turned off my camera, and I'm gonna add DroidCam OBS and just add OBS 2, and as you can see it over here, we have resolution, video format, use Wi-Fi IP, and maybe there might be a different list, but we are supposed to use Wi-Fi IP. And to activate, you're supposed to enter the Wi-Fi IP, which will be visible once you open the app in your phone, and it asks for a bunch of other information. Deactivate when not showing, enable audio, which will enable the phone's audio instead of recording from mic aux, which is in my case recording from computer. And once you do it, it's just going to pop up like this. I think I can, and to check the setting, you can see that this is my Wi-Fi IP, DroidCam port. These information will be over there, and the video format that I'm using is AVC/H.264. I have no idea what that is, but it is one of it. And I have reverted my camera so that my hairstyle looks on the other side. Yeah. So this is how you set up the OBS Studio and all the information that has to be surrounded with it. I hope I covered everything. With this, I would also like to do some troubleshooting if you end up in some problem. And to troubleshoot, what we are supposed to do is, first things first, just as I ran which OBS at the first place, make sure to run which OBS again at the bottom, and check if the OBS Studio is in there or not. The OBS Flatpaks version of OBS Studio, which is basically running which com.obsproject.studio in most of the cases. OBS project.studio, and it should give you this location, which is basically the location for our OBS project. If it does not, then I would recommend you to just start installing all of the things again, and make sure that while you are doing so, you remove the existing traditional OBS by running package manager -remove OBS, or based on your Linux distro apt-get or dnf-r, based on how it works in different Linux system, but this is like the standard format for Arch Linux. And enter your passcode, and just to remove that app from your device, and again reinstall. If you have Flatpak, then it should pop up the similar kind of message, and followed by installing the OBS Studio itself over here, as we have done it, and it should work perfectly for you guys as well. So this is how you do download OBS Studio on your computer. That's it for the video. Thank you.